I'm Roxy Romeo from Power 99's Rise and Grind Morning Show.
My name is Adimu. I'm the new Quiet Storm host for WDAS.
You hear that voice. So, of course, we are all here to experience Pink Sweats. West Philly's very own. He is absolutely amazing. I had a chance to meet him briefly at the one of the BT events during the BT Awards weekend. He jumped on the mic for a couple minutes. Let me tell you, his voice is amazing. You're gonna love him.
He's an incredible songwriter, and just as Roxy said, he's a dope artist, and he's from West Philly. So, are y'all ready? All right, let's do it.
Oh, it might not be on.
Cool. So this first song I'm gonna do is called Honesty. You guys can hum along. I know, yeah. She said, baby, I'm afraid to fall in love. 'Cause what if it's not reciprocated? I told her, don't rush, girl, don't you rush, yeah. I guess it's all a game of patience, yeah. And she said, what if I dive deep? Would you come in after me? Would you share your flaws with me? Let me know, yeah, yeah. I told her thinking is all wrong. Love will happen when it was. I know it hurts sometimes, but don't let it go, no. 'Cause I want you, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, I want you, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, I want you. Yeah. She said, what if I tell you all the things I've done? Yeah. Would you run away from me? Yeah. Oh. I told her, baby, we all got bags full of that we don't want. But I can unpack it for you, baby, yeah. And she said, what if I dive deep? Would you come in after me? Would you share your flaws with me? Let me know, yeah, yeah. I told her thinking is all wrong. Love will happen when it wants. I know it hurts sometimes, but don't let it go. Oh yeah, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, I want you, yeah, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, 'cause I want you, I want You guys are great. Sometimes I be in my own world up here. This next song is called "Body Ain't Me." If you want to cry, just let it out. Used to know you, but I don't know you now. Everything's getting so blurry now. Vision hurting, I can't stand the look of you now. 'Cause everything's different. Yeah, I heard you moving back from out of town. Heard you traveling all these miles and miles. Trying to get back to my love, but it's harder now. Everything's different. Oh, I can't lie, I want you home me. And girl, I wanna love you closely. Yeah. I don't want nobody on you. Yeah. If that body ain't me, body ain't me. I lied when I said I hate you. Yeah. Baby, I was trying to get through. Yeah. I don't want nobody on you. If that body ain't me, body ain't me, yeah. I've been hearing voices, can't get them up. Used to playing cool, but I need you now. Vision's clearer, I can see it all better now. 'Cause everything's different. Yeah. See, I know you got a whole lot to figure out. Just know that I'm always here for you, girl, no doubt. Before building up, sometimes gotta break it down. Everything's different. Oh, I can't lie, I want you home me. And girl, I wanna love you closely. I don't want nobody on you. If that body ain't me, if that body ain't me now. I lied when I said I hate you. Baby, I was trying to get through. I don't want nobody on you, no, no, no. If that body ain't me, body ain't me, yeah. Ooh, yeah, nah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, no. If that body ain't me, yeah. Thank you guys so much. This is Lexi, my guitarist. I'll show her some love. Thank you guys for listening. You almost made me cry now. Okay, what's the next part? Sorry. Everybody's crying.
They took our lights.
Oh, damn.
But can we give it up for Pink Sweats one more time?
Thank you guys.
That was fire, bro. Fire.
Check, check, check. Check. Check, check.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. There we go. There we go. All right, one more time for Pink Sweats.
So Pink Sweats, if you don't know, is a Philly boy.
Yeah, Philly.
It's so nice to see Philly artists doing things big. Like I feel like a lot of Philly artists are making moves right now.
For sure.
What is your story? Like, how did this happen for you?
For me, I was just like writing songs. That was like my first passion as far as like making music. So I was like, dang, I just wanted to run around the city writing everybody's songs. But I I felt like I was just writing songs that were bigger than the little circle that I was in. As far as like, I was writing raps and stuff, and I was like,
Do you rap?
No,
Oh,
but
gotcha.
I can rap, but like I don't have a rap voice, so I can like write the rap and like
Okay.
somebody can say it and it'd be fresh. But for me, it was like, I want to write country songs. I want to write love songs, and everybody don't always want to do that, so I just started doing it myself.
I remember the first time I heard your music. I was jogging, right? So I was running. The song popped on, right? And I was like, what the right? And I was like, who is this lyrical gangster right here, right? With all this conviction, where does that soul and conviction come from, man?
Man, I grew up in church, so my grandpa has a church in North Philly. My aunt literally got a church across the street from him. My dad had a church. Like, my whole family just church. So it's like, it's something that gets on you, whatever it is, when you just grow up around that. You just learn how to, like, project through your voice. Because my mom's a singer as well, so I don't know. I would have just accredited to church and growing up in that environment.
Did you sing in church? No.
Nah, not really. I was just like intimidated because when I was growing up, my mom was like beast mode singer. So
Because I read somewhere that you really didn't get into music until like a little later on in life.
Yeah, until like after high school. Like in high school, standard, like I did like a couple of talent shows to like appease girls and stuff. But
It's always for the ladies.
yeah, that's how it always starts. But for me, it was never like, oh, you can be a singer, because I'm just like, nah.
But you realize you have accomplished a lot in a short time. I feel like that because
Nah, it's literally
you got
been-
into music after high school and you're now signed, you're touring, like you got a hit song out. So that's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of artists that have been struggling trying to make it way longer than that.
Oh yeah, for
And they're
sure.
nowhere near you.
I'm very super grateful because, like I said, my mom's a singer. Like other people in my family, shout out my aunt and my uncle, Tommy J. They got a group, but like it's so many people in my family that I saw firsthand where it's like they give it everything, and like when you're a kid, you just like, oh, it didn't like work how they, you don't really know why or how. You just see like, oh dang, like my mom was touring overseas and now she's not. So it's like you don't really understand when you're a kid.
Do you consider yourself a songwriter or an artist at this point?
I'm an artist, but I move like a songwriter because artists have boundaries based on like, whatever industry you're in. It's like you have boundaries, and I feel like writers don't have boundaries. Like tomorrow, I could write a country song, a rock song, a rap song, all in the same day, and like send them out. But when you're an artist, people expect you to be one thing a lot of times, and that's new for me because it's like, dang, I can only do this, and this is what they want to hear. Like, I get it, but I'm so used to being behind the scenes and like doing my own thing, whatever I want to do. So,
Have you branched out as a songwriter and actually written country songs and all these other type of
Yeah.
genres that you want to do?
Yeah, I love going to Nashville.
So what are some like artists that we wouldn't have expected you to have worked with?
It's not. Oh, Florida Georgia Line.
Okay.
What's my guy?
That's a big deal, though. I forgot Florida Georgia Line.
No. It's somebody else. Shy Carter. He's dope. He's in Nashville too. I've written with a bunch of Nashville people. Shout out my boy Seth England and Big Loud.
You
Yeah.
just worked with all of them. You just can't remember all of them.
I just love music. Like, I've never been a person, like, I didn't grow up listening to a ton of music. Me coming from, like, church background, my parents, like, super strict. So it was like when I finally got out there on my own, and I was just, like, hearing all this dope music. And I'm like, oh, like, I can make that. And they're like, how? Like, you never, I'm like, I just, for whatever reason, I felt like I can do that. And I started to, and people was like, oh, cool. And, like, the way I even got into writing country, it was, like, at a dinner sitting next to a guy who owns like a country label, and I was like, I write country music. He's like, yeah, right. He's like, yeah, right. I'm like, no, for real. Like, I write country music. He's like, send me something. So I sent him a song. He's like, who did this song? I was like, me. He's like, who produced it? Me. You coming to Nashville next week? Like, we're gonna fly you out there.
That's dope.
Just like that.
And then you work with Philly's own Tierra Whack too, right?
Tierra Whack.
Talk about that. She's incredible too.
Tierra's amazing. She's actually one of the first people to like accept one of my beats. Cause like we used to work out of the same studio room, and we just be grinding out, like us and a couple friends, sleeping there, like pretty much living there almost, like. And then one day I was like making beats or whatever. She was like, "Oh, that's hot," and I was like, "For real?" She was like, "Yeah," and then she put it out, and it got like a lot of traction. And then we did another one, and then like I heard about it a year later, and she like was like, "Yo, this beat, I'm finally gonna use it." And I was like, all right, cool. And then she put it on her project, and it like got tons of traction. So I was like, I'll never forget that, like, because I was a writer, and like people try to box you in. Like if you're a writer, they don't want you to produce. If you're a producer, just produce. So it was like for me, I was a writer, but she like was like, yo, this beat's dope. Like I don't care. So I was like, oh, work, boom.
That's dope. Salute to Tierra Whack. You said, quote, all this time I've been chasing money, girls, and material things. I still like those things, but that's not my fuel anymore. Talk a little bit about that. My fuel is helping my culture. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that's big for me because one day I woke up and I was just like, dang, like, I felt like people around me, and then I would find myself from time to time being a part of complaining about music. Like, you know, why is it only this winning? And it's like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, it's, I was like, dang, like, nobody, every time I'm in a room as a writer with artists, black artists, it's like, yo, let's do this, but let's add this flow in there that's like from somebody else. And I'm like, why do you want to be like them? Like, I just didn't get that. And then it would just keep happening. And then I would do pop sessions and I would do country sessions, and everybody would be trying to do this. They were like, yo, let's add this flow. And I was like, man, like part of me was proud, but part of me was like, nobody wanted to be original anymore or try an attempt. So it was like, for me, it's like R&B is on the rise, but a lot of people are doing what's already been done. And it's, from the writer aspect, it's like how you make a quick dollar. Because it's like, oh, do something that people already heard before. It's a hit. That's how they, like, people tell you. So it's like, for me, I'm like, no, black culture is innovative. It always has been. So why are we holding back right now? Like, let's give people something fresh. Because when, like, New Jack Swing, that style came, that inspired something. So if we're not making anything new, who are we inspiring?
I think people recognize that about you because your following has definitely grown. You sell out shows when you book them. I think it was LA. I think I was going to LA a weekend and you were there, and my cousin went to your show and she was like, oh, it's sold out. You can't get tickets. I'm like, oh. But talk about how your life has changed, because this is just like a different level from where you were.
Oh, life is crazy. Like, I feel like I used to go to LA, and when I was in LA, I'd be like couch surfing or whatever, or just like working for somebody for like decent pay, but they wasn't like treating me right. You know what I'm saying? They just be like, oh, yo, sleep on the couch. They'll pay you a decent fee, but they be like, yo, you can just crash here. But now it's like, okay, people like, yo, remember that song we did 75 years ago? I want to use that. Can we use that? I'm like, no. Like, what? It's just, to me, it's the respect seems different, and it's not really about the material things to me, because I've always found a way to have fun. But in your field, you always want respect, and you want to feel like people appreciate the work that you do. And I feel like for a while, when I would do like the different stuff, because obviously if you can do the cookie cutter stuff, people want it. They're like, oh yeah, let's get that. But once I started doing like my own thing, people like, I don't know, is that that's the song? Like, honesty, that's the whole song? It's nothing else? I'm like, yeah, that's the song.
There's no 808s.
Yeah. It's like, oh, when does the beat come in?
Right.
Oh, it's coming up right now. No, it doesn't come in. So
But like, when you go out, Are people recognizing you? Are you getting mobbed? Like, has your life changed in that way? And can we talk about groupies for a minute? Like, do you have those yet?
I got groupies. But nah, they like, my fans are chill, but they not at the same time. But like, yeah, people do approach me, but usually they're respectful. Like, the other day, awkwardly, I was in New York, which I've been walking around New York for a long time. Nobody bothered me, but I was at a museum, a random museum, and like this group of kids was just like, "Oh my God, Mr. Sweats!" And I was just like,
That's hilarious.
I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Why are y'all together? Like, what is going on here?" It's like, "Oh, we was on a trip." I was like, and y'all just happened. One of us saw you, and we were all just like, "Pink Sweats is over there."
Mr. Sweats.
I was like, "Oh wow."
Where does that pink sweats persona come from anyway? What's the origin of that?
Just wearing pink sweats.
Pink sweats.
Somebody said it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a dope name."
And then you rock purple drip, pink drip all
Yeah,
the time.
purple, pink. That's like kind of the lean that I'm going with, like the colors.
A little
and
bit
then
of
my
Cameron
merch.
influence.
Yeah. No, a lot of Cameron influence.
But why pink?
I don't know. I just always loved pink. My birthday is actually on Valentine's Day, so I don't know if that has something to do with it
Then
in
you
my
should be
brain.
wearing red.
Nah, but everybody wears red when it's their. It's like red and pink, so I chose pink. I love pink. It's dope. It makes you stand out, especially as a dude.
Yes, it does.
Like you walking around, and like, who's this
That's a
fella?
fact.
Who's this whippersnapper?
Anybody have any questions?
What high school did you attend?
When I lived in Philly, I attended Samuel Fells, for my first year.
And you live in LA now?
Yeah, I live in LA
Okay.
now.
All right.
How hard was it for you to make it out of Philly as a Philly up and coming Philly artist?
I feel like it was kind of easy because I started to like expand my mind outside of the city, and then I started expanding my friends outside of the city. So it became a little easier. But like during the early phases of my career, it was harder because I was only surrounded around my Philly brothers and sisters, which is cool. But sometimes you gotta remind yourself that the world is bigger than just your city. So it's like that's what I needed to do, and that's what I did.
Who would be your ideal artist to perform with today or go on tour with?
Oh wow, tour. I would say John Mayer. I like John Mayer. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
he can play guitar songs.
I'm a producer, and I want to know like how, because you produce too, right?
Yeah.
Is it hard to be a producer or artist?
I feel like it's harder being a producer only because technically you're like customer service. So it's like you're trying to make the beats that you think will, sell essentially. Like it's harder, but I feel like once you find your sound, then people just come to you anyway. But like if you're in a situation where you're like, all right, I'm trying to like change my situation and I need to get these beats off, then you're like making the beats that you think that the person wants to hear. But if you're just doing what you do, and then people say, "Yo, that's hot," then you won. Like to me, that's the ultimate winner.
You mentioned John Mayer. I know you're a big fan of Maroon 5, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And in Volume 1 and Volume 2, it's so guitar heavy. What is it about the guitar, man?
Oh man, the guitar. It's something when I hear it, it just grabs me. Like piano, I like piano, but ever since I was a kid, like I think because my dad used to always fall asleep on the couch, my mom would kick him out of the room, and I would like sleep on the floor. Like he would sleep on the couch, and I would sleep on the floor under him, and it would always like we ain't had cable, so the infomercials would come on all night, and they'd be like these old country songs with guitars. So like I reverse engineered. I'm like, well maybe that's why, cause they like dong, 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 dong. So I'm like, yo, maybe it's something like programmed in my sleep while I'm not even paying attention, and I'm just a young kid. And then when I grow up, I'm like, oh, I love guitar. Like I don't know what it is. I think that's why.
That makes sense.
I had a quick question. So years from now, if you could see yourself, how would you want to be remembered? More of like a Gambling Huff, like known for making hits, or more of like an artist, like you actually perform and sing the actual songs?
Wow, that's good. I would hope to be both, because I really genuinely love writing songs, and I love this new life of being an artist too. So it's like every day I'm still doing both. Like I'm still writing songs for me, simultaneously doing songs for others. So I'm hoping that people can see and respect that both instead of choosing. But we'll see.
What was the best way you've been networking with people, just to get connected with a lot of people?
I feel like for me, the best thing that happened was networking. Like, I forget, I heard a phrase and I was like, oh, that is true. Like networking across instead of like looking to like these like big celebrities or people's like, oh, I'm such and such's cousin. Like, whatever, who cares? Like, my thing is like network with people you can recognize skill in, like whatever area, like for me, like my whole team, we all like grew together. Like my video team, like they really had just kind of started making videos, and then by the time I became an artist, they were already dope. And then my manager, he really didn't manage an artist before, but I recognized like he had really good skills and like connecting dots and like just determination. So sometimes it just clicks. I can't really explain it, but networking across is the key, like for real, because you and your homie, y'all network with people that's like exactly on your level. 3 years from now, those people, if they still grinding, they gonna be the execs that you, pumping beats through. Like, yo, bro, I got these beats. Oh, I just signed this new artist. Boop, boop. You know what I'm saying? So simple like that.
So what are you? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you raised your hand first. I saw you earlier.
All right. Did you look for your manager, or did your manager find you?
Nah, honestly, I didn't look for my manager. I had an artist myself that I was developing, and I found him through a friend who I was writing for them, and he was like working with them, and I was like, oh, dope. So me and him, it's weird. It's like so complicated, but me and my manager, who wasn't my manager then, we started developing this artist together, and then later down the line, I was like, yo, you should be my manager just as a writer, and then later on, I was like, I want to be an artist.
What was your aha moment? Like, this is who I am, all self-doubt was going out, like, I'm going to take this to another level. What was that moment? You could have been sitting in the room, I don't know, but like that aha moment.
I was in an Airbnb in LA, and I had wrote Honesty. That was like, I think, was it the first song, Josh, or Cocaine? Both of them in the same day. And then I was like, man, this is like, because I never wanted to be an artist. It was never like I was chasing that. So when I heard these songs back, I was like, man, this, like, I can't even imagine anybody else singing these. I was like, wow, like, okay, I need to keep these. Like, I need to go all the way. And then I called my manager. I was like, I want to be an artist. I'm ready. Like, and he was like, all right, cool, let's do it. Like, whatever we got to do, figure it out. And it was just like, aha. Like, woo, this is it.
And then, who's Josh?
Josh back there.
Is that the manager?
Who is Josh, though?
Josh,
Who is
that's
Josh
my
to you?
manager.
Josh.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh then. Salute to Josh. Josh is who? Josh the what?
Josh
Shout
the
out
manager.
to Josh. That's what's up. And then you mentioned your team. You have in-house video people. They shot Honesty, right?
Yeah.
The Honesty video is crazy.
Thank you, man.
That's a dope video.
Appreciate that.
So they do everything, right?
Yeah, and the beautiful thing to add to my bro right here, like, we were all friends. So it was just like organic, just happening, And it was like with my manager, like, a lot of times people, they're looking for a manager, but you don't know that person. You don't, like, you got to really suss the situation out. And I feel like with my manager, it was like, he was like my best friend. So it was like, oh, cool. That was a no-brainer almost.
So what is next for Pink Sweats?
What's next is I'm going on tour. Pink Beginnings Part 2, I'm sorry. We're starting that actually in August.
You going by yourself?
Yeah, I don't know who we bringing on, but
Josh.
You'll be the headliner.
Yeah, it's my
You're
tour.
Okay.
It's my tour, my second tour, or I guess the second half of the first tour, and I'm working on my album, which is, oh my god, it's so amazing. It's
How much of it is done?
a good portion of it is done. It's live, so it's like taking a little bit more time.
What do you mean it's live?
Like I'm in the studio playing the drums, playing the guitar.
Okay.
And there, we got dope collaborators that's on the production side, and it's just, yeah, it's real. It feels like Gamble and Huff, like that era, like just getting in there and really diving in.
Can you talk about any of it? Collabs? Like who's on it?
I'm not doing any collabs on my
Oh, you're not
album.
doing
No,
any.
no.
Okay.
I don't think that's proper for me to do like collabs on my first album.
I don't think you need it.
I don't think so either. But I'm gonna do collabs like in between now and the album. That'll just be out. Like,
Okay.
songs that might be their songs or whatever. Because I gotta, people want music. So it's like hard to not put out
And that's
music.
another thing. How do artists keep up with the demands? Because listen, when an artist decides to take a break, if they get pregnant, if they just are burnt out, I feel like the longer they take, people forget, and it's so much harder to come back.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I think when you give people quality, they don't forget. Like, you know what I mean? Like Frank Ocean he can come out next year or in 10 years. And people are like, oh, Frank Ocean. Like,
Right.
And now mind you, people might not be like, oh, he's like selling out 70,000 people or whatever. But he's going to always have a fan base because he puts
has
out
his core
quality.
audience.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like I would say that I put out quality music that people like are some way gonna relate the next thing to me. Like from that, like the thing as a writer that you desire is to like make something where people say, "Oh, can you give me a song like that?" And like I feel like I've scratched that itch now because like sometimes my friends be like, "Yo, man, this is weird." Like I was in the studio, artist was like, "Yo, I want that Pink Sweat stuff," and I was like, "Word." Cool, that sounds dope. But like, it's inspiring, even to me, even though it's my song. But it's inspiring the songwriter half of me to like, all right, keep pushing boundaries, keep trying to do your thing.
So the tour, the new album, I'm happy for you, man. I think you are incredibly talented and you're special, and there's no one like you in this
I
space.
appreciate
man.
that, for real.
Really happy for you, man. Congratulations, for real.
Thank you.
And you are now family. So make
Hey.
sure you come back and visit us.
I will actually.
All right, one more time for Pink Sweats. We appreciate you, man. Congratulations again, bro.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all for coming out.
Pictures.